Yesterday, Senate Republicans released their plan for a second economic stimulus package. The Health, Economic Assistance, Liability Protection, and Schools Act, or HEALS as it will be known, is to replace the original stimulus set to expire on Friday. This gives them just 5 days to come to an agreement with Democrats in the House before unemployment assistance is cut off to the 20% of American workers who are currently out of work through no fault of their own. Mitch McConnell calls the plan a starting point, but the negotiation and passage of the bill is going to be hard. The proposal begins where the previous package did, another one-time $1,200 check. You remember how far that first one went, right? After that comes the reduction of your additional $600 in weekly unemployment down to $200. The reasoning? They feel that this supplement discourages Americans from going back to work. According to them, some of you are making more money now than you did at your regular job. So I guess that extra dough is making you lazy and complacent. If it wasn't for this, your tax dollars coming back to you in a time of crisis, you would want to return to work. Who cares about a life-threatening pandemic, right? But what really makes me angry is the L in HEALS, liability protection. If you recall, the initial stimulus was held up because of the same push from the Senate. If this should pass, businesses, healthcare providers, and schools will be shielded from any coronavirus-related lawsuits brought by workers, employees, and I'm assuming parents for 5 years. A total smiling head nod to corporate America and a complete turning of the back to American citizens. Any bill that prioritizes profits over safety should be a non-starter. Not to mention, this protection eliminates the biggest incentive employers and politicians themselves have for ensuring safety measures before sending the rest of us back out into the world. It's bad enough multiple states have already been accused of manipulating their COVID numbers to accelerate reopening. Now there will be no recourse for doing so. Just what we all want to hear right now. And what are the rent and mortgage relief? They aren't mentioned at all. Those bills are coming due. Are they really going to allow millions of people to be turned out into the streets? Is this how a nation takes care of her citizens? Now, the numbers across the board for this pandemic are growing and show no signs of slowing down. It's time that our leaders make an investment in the people of this nation rather than corporate interests and shares. And if they aren't willing to do this, remember, November 3rd is coming soon.